teenage girls are at an age where they're discovering themselves and finding that niche where they're good at something. Find out how to kill time during spare time with ideas on what are some good hobbies for teenage girls, especially when those long holidays or lazy weekends roll in. Hobbies, whether big or small, have a way of creating an attachment of the activity to ourselves, eventually turning into passions that we indulge in every time we can. For my birthday, not too long ago, my sister surprised me with something I'd wanted since I was in like 8th grade. It was a telescope. This newfound hobby that can never run down and end up being a bore, has got me even more interested in what goes on outside this planet we live in. It's a great way to stay in touch with astronomy, where once we lose touch as kids when we learn about it, this steps in and keeps us connected to a whole different area in our lives. So let's find out what are some good hobbies for teenage girls to take up, that can prove to be fun, therapeutic and productive too. Hobbies for teenage girls. In the following list of hobbies and interests for girls, you'll find some pretty fun ideas that should have you passing your time in the best way possible. Make a new friend to find out what it's like to take care of an animal, and how to work on virtues like patience and kindness. Get yourself a pet. If you don't own one yet, I suggest you get one right away. Although challenging and quite a big responsibility, having a pet will also help you understand the importance of cleanliness and what it's like to care for another living thing. Do a lot of research before getting your first pet, and find one that suits your home needs and those you live with. If you already have a pet, why not think of breeding them and taking care of the little ones, or visiting animal rescues to see how you can be of help and assistance to those animals in need. Slip on that apron to help keep yourself motivated. Buy a couple of cute aprons that you'd love to bounce around the kitchen in, while you whip up dishes from scratch. Take some of Mom's recipe books or browse online for simple dishes at first to get started, before moving on to more complex ones. Make sure you have all your ingredients and kitchen tools on hand before you dive in, and have friends or family test your finished dishes. Keep it easy in the beginning until you get a hang of it. This popular hobby for girls never fails to turn into a full-fledged passion as time flies by. Going green at home. Everyone's talking about how we need to plant more trees and sow more seeds along barren areas. But what if we can't always resort to such methods? Why not just start a mini garden of your own as an outdoor hobby, either out on your porch or in the backyard? It would be a great way to find out how to sharpen your gardening skills, on what helps plants thrive or not, what is in season or good as an all-year-round success to grow, understanding how they need to be taken care of, and so on. Take help from someone who would love to be a part of this budding hobby, or let someone with knowledge on gardening offer advice and a helping hand. You'll then witness how all of it will garner a blossoming garden, giving you a whole new way of looking at gardening and how to further bring it up. Pick up an instrument. Learning how to play an instrument when you're in your teens would help you sharpen your skills over time as you grow older. Unfortunately for me, once I took up the violin as a teenager, I lost touch along the way. Once life got a little too fast-paced to ever look back at that enclosed violin case. Don't ever stop practicing and bring out that talent in you which only comes through with dedication and passion that can be acquired over time. Take up classes to get all those notes and lessons drilled into your routine, and then once you perfect it, move on to streaming videos for tutorials on tips and tricks on how to better your playing skills. You can then perform in front of your classmates, friends, relatives and family, once you're confident enough to go public. Master a new language. This is something that I've always wanted to do, and wish I'd done more extensively as a teen. Not that it's too late. It doesn't hurt to learn a major global language like French, Chinese, Spanish, Japanese, Hindi, Urdu, Arabic, and so on, when you're young. It will help you get around better while touring or when conversing with someone who would be glad to speak in their native tongue with a person who wouldn't ordinarily speak it. Perfect your lingual skills and try it out the next time you happen to find yourself in a position to give it a try. Start a mini library now. With technological enhancements and the advancement of gadgets and gizmos, We're left with a huge alternative bank of having to read books either online at home, sitting in a moving train, before sleeping, eating, jogging, and during whatever other activity you can think up. Not only can you read these electronically generated books, but you can listen to the audio versions as well. Downloading couldn't have been made easier and more convenient to the general masses. So what happens to all the paperbacks and hardcover books? There are of course a lot of people who'd rather pick up a book than switch to something more program-generated, but these days teenagers may sway more towards the latter than the former. So the next time you decide to read a book or a magazine, why not start something interesting at home, like say your very own library? I recently thought this one up for myself, by getting this nice-looking bamboo-framed structure, that comes with 6 neat rows of bamboo-entwined shelves. Be it in wood, plastic, stone or bamboo in my case, making place for all your reads where they can be neatly stacked and collected, would be a great way to keep them in one place and easily accessible. You can always give others suggestions that try like trekking, scrapbook making, stamp collecting, crocheting, fishing, diving, craft making, photography, sewing, and so on. Get your feet soaked in different hobby pools that are sure to offer some great ways of how to spend time doing something you will fall in love with over time, before you find the kind of activities that you like best.